Hi, Tony here at Reviews from the Man Cave with a quick video to show you how to clean and adjust the chain on your Triumph Street Twin. When I decided to start modifying my Street Twin and putting the videos up on YouTube to just show and maybe help other people that were doing the same things, I'd never really considered doing anything around maintenance, but I've had quite a few people request some maintenance videos, so I thought, well, the one that seems to be the most popular and the one that is probably the most frequently done is going to be the chain lube check and adjustment. I'll start off with cleaning the chain, and I don't really want to teach anybody to suck eggs, but I'll keep it brief and keep it short. Normally, to start with, when I'm cleaning the chain, I take the chain guard off just to make it easier to get to. You've just got two Allen key bolts, one here, one at the front here. With the chain guard out of the way, you've got nice, good, decent access to the chain. And I've got the back wheel of the bike off the ground. I'm using a scissor jack underneath, or if you have bobbins on the back, which you can get, Free Spirits parts in Italy and Tech Bike parts make bobbins that go onto the back of the Street Twin so that you can use a paddock stand. But all you want to do is get the back wheel off so you can rotate that. I tend to use Worth products just because they're nice, but I've run out of Worth chain cleaner, so I've just got some brake stroke clutch cleaner, which is essentially the same thing. And all I tend to do with this is just get this spinning and give that a good squirt, get plenty of brake cleaner on it. And then with my dirtiest of rags, I'll just continue to do that and grip the chain just to give that a good clean off. There you go, all the way around. And then I bought one of these nifty little brushes, which just helps. You can hold that in the middle there, just spin the wheel, just get that going through, and then you can just spend some time going around making sure that you've got as much of the old dirty grease off as you can. And then it's simply a case of getting whatever chain lube you use. I'm using the Worth High Performance Dry Chain Lube, which seems to have worked for me well. And again, then it's a case of just spinning the chain, and there you go, giving it a good blast around inside and out. And there we go. So I'll just let that dry off, and then obviously I can wipe around the wheel and get rid of the overspray and bits and pieces. Right, so we've got the wheel back on the ground now, and what we're looking to do is work out what the slack is in this chain. And you normally take this at the midpoint between the front and rear sprocket. Now, as I'm such a nice guy, I've decided to take the silencer off so you can see what's going on here. You're looking at the point in the chain midway between the two sprockets, so that's kind of going to be roughly here, and you're looking at this measurement here, how this much moves. Now, it's recommending you've got somewhere between 20 and 30 millimeters of movement. That probably feels like it might be a little bit more than that, so I'm just going to check that. Right, so I'm moving the chain up to its highest point, which is there, and I'll let that drop down, and actually we've got about 30, so we're at the upper limits of the movement that we would want. So I want to take that in just to tighten that up. To adjust the chain, we've got the spindle nut, which you have to undo. Just loosen that off, and then you've got this lock nut here, which you can loosen off, and then it's a case of adjusting this bolt here in or out. Obviously, if you want to tighten the chain, you need to move the wheel back, so it's a case of screwing this out so that it pushes the axle back until you take up that slack. So it's this nut undone, loosen that, and then this to move that. And obviously you need to get the movement, the amount of turns on here to match the amount of turns on the opposite side so that that's even. So just to confirm, this rear spindle nut is a 27mm, and you don't have to worry about the other side. You've just got a captive sleeve on the other side, so it's just this side you loosen. You've got a 12mm on the adjuster nut and a 13mm on the lock nut. Then I'm going to want to loosen off this adjuster. Do the same on the other side, and then that leaves me with the opportunity to go anti-clockwise or counterclockwise from my American friends. It's not going to take a lot to do that. So I'll just put 1, 2, 3 full turns on there. I've gone through on the other side, then I can check that, and you can see that's already made quite a bit of difference, just that small amount of change. So I'm happy that's taken probably 1 centimetre out of that. That's about as much as we need to do. So then just a case tightening up the lock nuts with your 13mm spanner. And while you're doing that, you'll want to hold this bolt into place, which is why I guess they're 2 different sizes. These need to be done to 20 Newton meters. That's light enough for me to be happy to do that hand tight, as you can kind of judge that yourself. So there you go, that's got that tightness up. We've made the adjustment. Now it's quite difficult to show it on the main video, but as you're adjusting it, you've got these little markers here that will help you guide you from where you are. So I've moved that, it was nearer to the second hole. As I've moved it, we can see the position of where it is on the 3rd hole, and I'm just obviously then can go around to the other side, check to make sure that that's in the same place. If that's in the same place, then we know we've got that aligned nice and straight. It's at this point now, if you're doing this with the bike on the ground, just jump on the seat to compress the suspension and check that free play again. Because of the pivot point on this bike, when you compress the suspension with your weight, you will find that the chain does tighten. So when I got the bike off of the stand to do this, I found that the 3 turns that I made actually did mean the chain was just a smidgen too tight, so I just went through the process, loosened it off a little bit, and then followed the rest of the procedures. And then it's just a case of re-tightening this center nut. This needs to be at 110 Newton meters, so I've got my trusty torque wrench set to 110, and then obviously is pretty tight. Oh, there we go. And then it's just a case of clean that all up, put your chain guard back on, and away you go. So there you go, that's how I check, cleaned and adjust the chain on my Triumph Street Twin. Hope you found that useful. As usual, there'll be links in the end credits for you to click, and all that leaves me to say is thanks for watching, and until next time, take care, ride safe, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.